Appreciate you being that guy. Folks, let's kick this. We're going to do a GPS Summit recap. Special partner of ours, Jaime Resendez, is on the call. As I just told you earlier, I'm going to tell you again. Jaime thought, and because he's getting a lot of good feedback, a lot of positive feedback. By the way, you are going to be getting a survey. It will be dropped in the chat. Our mission is to get that information about what happened at the summit and also get your feedback. Say, what can we do to make it better next time? Because you guys make a huge difference. Anyway, Jaime sends me this email. It's like this long. And it was just like this awesome email to read. I read it. Then I said, okay, I read it again. I figured, what the heck? I read it one more time. I posted it on Facebook. I tagged a bunch of people and said, look what he's saying. That was maybe an exaggeration. But the big issue was he kept hearing again and again that they wanted more. They wanted more. So he sends me this message. This is unsolicited. He goes, listen, I feel like there was more than I needed to add. Can I do some more with y'all? Can I help some more? Now remember, Jaime and I are not, we're not connected as far as our lineage is concerned. I'm not a senior partner of his, nor is he of mine. We're simply people that want to come from contribution. How awesome is that? I said, absolutely, man. So next Wednesday, right, Jaime?
Next Wednesday.
You want to give a shameless plug for what you're going to cover, or do you want to keep it a secret? It's totally up to you, sir.
We'll keep it a secret.
Okay.
I like the way that you're presenting it. It's much better when you say it than I say it.
So here's the thing. He's like, I needed to add more. I didn't get enough. So we've got him, and he's like, I'm going to do this. Sasha, I just got to say this, with the light on you like that. Beautiful. Wow. Really looks good. It's a great picture, dear. I'm looking at it like your center screen. I'm like, damn, check her all out. You all that in a box of chocolate is what you are. All right. So let's kick it off. We started off this, and you guys think about this. I'll give you one more time what we're going to run through. I want your input. Interrupt, jump in, hit it in the chat. We started off with Debbie and Curtis. Then Tom was on. Then we had Tammy on. Tammy was talking about transaction management and leverage through there. And then we followed up with Chad and Sherry. And Chad and Sherry had a small little piece, and it was really about what to do. And they didn't go into it as much as I wanted to. So we're going to cover that as well. If you're bringing on a brand new agent, what are some ways what are workarounds? And unfortunately, that part's only the state of Florida that can help them. The success panel was pretty cool. We have a couple of the panel on the call right now. And then Sheila and Shannon Pyatt were the last ones there. Started off with Debbie and Curtis. Anybody have any ahas, anything in that coaching segment from them that started us that was impactful to you? I'd love to hear it. Okay. I guess that wasn't the best session. Tiffany, Joe, note to self. Hi, Deborah.
Hi.
She's unmuted. That woman walks around more than anybody I know. Her phone in her pocket, and she listens to everything, but unmutes it sometimes. So that's cool. All right, cool. Tom Martin was up there having a conversation. I did not watch this. I was busy putting out fires. Any feedback or input on Tom Martin's conversations?
Well, I had a aha that I had. I don't know if you guys can hear me. I'm driving, so I don't know.
You're good.
Okay. So I had the main thing that I got from it and that I took immediate action on was to just go ahead and share as far as, how you can help other agents. So I did that, and I was like, okay, that's one thing that's done. And I also put it in my my little video that I did that, I'm here and I'm willing to share whatever it is that you guys are. If I can help you, then I have a whole team behind me, a whole team of partners that can help you. So I'm kind of proud that I actually took the step and just did that, because that was my first mission. And I don't know who was the speaker that said it, but they inspired me to go ahead and do something. What are you going to do today? And I did that.
Love it. I love it. Stephanie, thank you very much. I have a personal story that I'm going to share with y'all too. Deep, let me do this because I'll forget, me, and then write to you, I promise. We got a message yesterday from a client whose name I can't pronounce, from a person whose name I can't pronounce, who was representing who was the seller of a property that we represented the buyer on. And the interesting part was, and this is not a testament to what we got from the summit, it's a testament for what we should be doing. And they were so impressed with the way we handled and kept the transaction together and worked as a partnership with the seller, listing agent, excuse me, that they called us to help them buy a home and help them sell a home. Now, this is 4 years ago, and Jackie never met them, but she remembered the environment. And what you've just said, Stephanie, piggybacks on that. And it also came, I think it was from Tom, about raining down awesome and support on your business partners out there. Because I promise you, there'll be more of us very soon than anybody else. And if we come from contribution, as you said, Steph, love that. If we come from constantly, just what can we do to help? How can we be supportive? As we talked about before, that lady in Hawaii who sends the books, who thanks them, who helps them. Let me go open the door for you. I'm right around the corner. That's going to permeate through the entire industry, and we're individually leading this. And I feel really strongly about that. And if you do more for them, if you do everything you possibly can, it will come back to you in so many ways. Deep, shoot, brother.
George, something in general, when you mentioned Tom, we are so blessed. I know I keep on saying this. My favorite calls are Friday. Every day is my favorite call, but especially on Friday, when Sheila was talking about her spiel she did and the video she showed at the end, Tom had already gone through that. There were a couple of other hints that Brent Gove talked about: create education for other agents, bring them together, make them better, and then go to from an area that you can come from, contributing them, and then convert them over to EXP instead of just putting EXP down their throats. And Tom's been, I'm so blessed. I'm part of this group. I'm glad Bobby brought me here. And first of all, thanks to you, what you've created. I think it says a lot for us as a group that Tom is priceless. We get Tom for free every Friday, and the effort he puts in. And if you really look at everybody who spoke about different topics they brought up, Tom has hit every one of them. I'm surprised Tom's not on the call. Every time somebody said something, I text Tom at that time. That's you, my boy. That's you. That's you. And it was kind of not shocking at all, but it really makes me, it should make us validate that what a nugget we have in this group.
Oh, wow. You're right on with Tom is just incredible, as you all are. And every one of you, I want to challenge every one of you to host one of these calls, to lead one of these calls, or at least to take a segment of one of them. Jaime said something. Jaime, if you're able to just unmute your mic, I know that you're ready to go. He said something that I thought that just totally hit me in the heart. And he doesn't know what I'm referring to. But Jaime, you said something about this group that was just blew me away and was probably the best compliment I could ever receive. Do you remember what it was?
I do.
Well, okay, dude, that's straight. Wow. He's a color guy. You can see it. He can add flavor to this. What was it, man?
You're a better hype man than I am, George. But effectively what I was communicating to you in the email was that the culture around this group is one that I haven't seen around, including even my group. And I can say that to their faces because I have. I'm in a very blessed position where I had pretty good communication and, spoken to several groups that are fairly large as well. But as far as the culture, the community, the hospitality that the GPS group just gives to people, not just me, is something I haven't seen around. It just doesn't exist from my experience. So that's the testament to the leadership. It's the testament to the folks that join, that partner, that buy in and really celebrate each other. So what y'all have here is special. And again, I can say that safely, knowing that my group is called the Agent First Group. And if I could, replicate half of what's going on here, my group is going to be wildly successful, but I can recognize that I don't have that yet.
I'll tell you what, first off, thank you more than anything. And for everybody, this is all because of you, everyone on the call. And I got to do this just because I haven't been able to do this in a while. Zolty, good to see you, old boy. I hope you're doing great. I missed you. I saw your name. I'm like, I got to call him out. Zolty and I had a lot of conversations. I miss hanging and talking to him. Jaime, and I'm pretty comfortable with this, knowing everybody on the call. If we can ever help you and be a partner, if there's something you see in here, if your agents want to jump in and join us, they're absolutely welcome to. This is Agents Helping Agents. And thank you, because I mean, you're not just a partner, you're a friend of mine at this point. So, God bless you, man. All right, let's go. Will, you got something you want to add?
I do. Tom is always very encouraging, and I appreciate him so much. I don't know why it takes so many times to hear something to make it click in the right way for you. I mean, it's like, sometimes you read scripture and you read the same verse over and over and over, and then all of a sudden one time it clicks in a different way. But something Tom said, and I know we talk about this all the time, the opportunity to gain is not as big a motivator as the fear of loss, and so what he was talking about is, if you don't take action, what are the consequences? Who suffers if you don't take action? And so often I set these goals, like paying off the mortgage, or, taking a nice trip with my family or whatever. And I base my activity on the opportunity to gain that. And so when I heard Tom say that, it kind of shifted my mindset. If I'll do the things I'm supposed to do, I have that. And if I don't, my family loses that now. And so kind of changing your mindset to, if I don't do this, it's a loss. I already have it if I'll do the things I'm supposed to do. But if I don't, it's a loss, rather than, you know what, I don't really need to go to Switzerland. Our monthly payment's not that big. It's okay if I don't do this today or whatever. I think that was a really kind of a big moment for me to just shift my mindset. What do I stand and my family stand to lose if I don't do what I need to do? Not what do we stand to gain if I do what I need to do.
I love that you shared that. Thank you very, very much, sir. I appreciate that. Y'all get that this is a very safe environment. There's not much you can say that's going to be anything off-putting unless it's insulting to others. Will, thanks, man. You and I have had very, very transparent conversations on many times, and I'm truly grateful that you're comfortable, allowing us to kind of get inside you a little bit. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Lizette, what you got?
Dropping off my daughter. Can you give me a few minutes?
Yeah, absolutely. Just put your hand up when you're ready again. Go ahead, Daryl.
Awesome. Thank you.
George, I got to jump off. I'm doing my 45 post this morning. So I want to kind of piggyback on what Will said. I think something that's fascinating is, I get so much head knowledge from this group and so much head knowledge of, at the summit, but it takes the repetitions of going through the motions to bring it from the head to the heart, or, from the mind to the body. And so, doing things over and over and hearing the message over and over, Will's 100% right, because as I move in my real estate career and I have different experiences and encounter different situations that need to be overcome or that were successful, it's like, oh, now that makes sense, Tom. Now having 20 conversations a day makes sense, Tom, that I'm going to get to my goal. Whereas before it was just a nice hypothetical idea, something I should do. But when I start doing it, I start seeing results, and we internalize it. So I want Tom to stay and keep feeding those messages, especially for us new agents, because the more we hear it and the more we do it, it becomes more real.
So, Daryl, thank you. I appreciate that. Folks, the Business Planning Clinic is going to be Zoomed. We're doing that. Thank you, Tom McNamara. He has the best Zoom office I've ever seen. He graciously said, let's do it. We got to get this out for our partners. Thank you, Tom. You're awesome, brother. Way to go. Appreciate that. He was there yesterday, setting it up to make sure it works. Hang tight, David. I'm going to get to you in just a second. You have to be at this Business Planning Clinic. If you're not attending in person, sorry, it's sold out. Sold out. It's free. It's full. We can't capacitate anymore, but you need to be there on Zoom. We'll be giving out the information, everything else. Seriously, put your phone aside, get in front of your computer, not your phone, and let's focus. This is a 3-hour intensive. It is your 2022, and Tom is an expert at providing this. All right. Dawood, what do you got, buddy?
So it was my first summit, been with EXP, as some of you know, since May 1 of this year. And I think what the summit did for me was it really altered the course in my thinking. What resonated with me the most was the identity board, and more importantly, how when you're not in congruency with your identity, you're essentially experiencing an identity crisis. And what the EXP model taught me for the first time, seeing it with other people, and I guess the way that I learned is if it can be done, I could achieve it or maybe even try and do it better than not knowing how to do it before. And the questions that resonated in my mind when Sheila was there was, you know, what would it look like to? And the two is whatever you want to fill in the blanks with, you know, onboard or recruit a handful of agents and change your business where you have more passive income. And then more importantly, who do I have to be in order to achieve that? And the minute that I started to identify with that, I started to identify with the person that I wanted to be within that space in real estate or within that space within the company, and actually now start finding the solutions or the possibilities in order to move into that space. So I guess the famous phrase of what Wayne Dyer said a long time ago, which is when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change, really started to impact me in the summit. And I thank you all for giving us the opportunity to be able to show us something different.
Absolutely, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up for sake for Tom. We'll cut that one a little short. Let's go on. I want to talk about Tammy. Now, Tammy was, and I'll all right. One more thing. Lizette's got her hand up. We pushed her off last time. Go ahead, Lizette.
No.
Hernandez,
I'll be quick.
not Cedino.
It's okay.
Yeah.
No, I just wanted to share. Oh, sorry. Was this somebody else?
No, it's you. Go ahead, Lizette. You're good.
Okay. All right.
Hernandez.
Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you so much, George, and everybody for putting this together. I appreciate everything that everybody puts, you know, for all the other agents. I just want to give feedback on Pike's story. I did come in a little bit later on the Zoom, but I think it blew me away. But also, I brought 3 guests to the conference, and they were blown away by his story. I mean, how resilient, you know, he is, and how he's accomplished everything through all the the health hardships. And a lot of us started talking about, you know, well, what's going to happen if we can't put up a for sale sign in the next year or two, if we get sick or one of our families gets sick. So it brings another perspective. A lot of people are not thinking about it. Some of these agents that I brought, I mean, they're smart people. They're amazing, smart people, but, you know, you don't bring it up to them. Somebody shows them what ifs. It doesn't bring the thought process of what can really happen in their life. So I just wanted to give feedback on that. And gracefully, all 3 of them are very excited. And I think they might be joining us very soon because they love the culture of everybody. And also the people, the leaders. I did put this on my social media that you couldn't really tell. Like when we were at the masterminds the day before at the pool, you couldn't really tell who was the top earner or who was the first beginner. I mean, they were all the same. And I remember my husband sitting in the back and they would approach him. Again, these are things that you can see the difference. It's not like, well, you know, I'm here, top agent will sit in this corner, you know, small agent on the, you know, I love the culture where we embrace everybody and we're there to kind of say, well, how can I help you? So I just wanted to give you that feedback about the summit.
I appreciate that. All right. So we're going to cover Tammy, then Chad and Sherry, then we'll cover Jeff, jump into the success panel, hit a little bit more on Sheila. And if we have time, go to Shannon, which is where we're at right now. So Tammy was talking about, Doran, your mic is off. Please fix it. Whoever's hosting. Thank you very much. Tammy was talking about leverage. There's not that much to feedback on there, but did anybody here realize that the leveraging of your time is ultimately your most valuable asset? The reason I had her up there is I wanted people to see what a transaction manager can do for you and how it frees your time. I'm going to give you a little insight. I don't need a transaction manager. I have myself and my wife. So you figure we're duplicated. There's 2 of us doing the same thing. All right. It's not fair for us, but we're going to hire a transaction manager, Tammy, actually, to manage our transactions for one reason only. Our time is more valuable. Now, some of you are perhaps new and you're like, I don't know. Your time is actually more valuable. I was on Style yesterday. Again, y'all just get the idea. She's like one of my best friends and our family best friends. So I'm like digging into her. But I said, I need to see your schedule. I'm like, oh, there's an hour block that's not filled in. What are we going to do to create business in there? Because I want to know what her perfect day looks like. And I didn't get my results yesterday, Style. I didn't forget that I didn't get my results. You grade your day. Folks, time leverage is critical. And that's where it came in from. Real quickly, anybody on transaction management, any input that you want to throw in there? Give it a couple seconds.
I'd be more than happy to throw something.
John, hit it quick. Go, bud.
It does change your business completely because it frees up your time.
Yep.
And it allows you to do just like you said, George, find more time to make more money, to do more business so that you have more time to be with your family.
Yeah.
It just does. I didn't do it before I came here. When I first came here, I was like, I don't need a transaction coordinator. I know how to do all that stuff. But again, leveraging that to make it easy for me so that I could be better at doing what I do best was amazing. And it was reiterated in the summit this weekend. It was I spoke to Brent privately about it. He said that's what you have to do. That's the secret to longevity in this business. It's amazing.
Jonathan, let me interrupt real quick. If anybody has an opportunity, find Olivia. I mean, she is hauling ass. I don't know what you're doing, Olivia, but it's like all I saw is these palm trees just zipping by as you're running. Go, girl, go. I love that. Getting energy. Sorry, Jonathan. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just keyed in on that. But I know where you're going with it, man. I appreciate that.
Hey, she's probably leveraging her time too. So she gets to run this morning.
She absolutely is. Style, what do you got real quick?
Real quick, transaction manager for sure to avoid errors, especially if you're a new agent. It will help you avoid errors that might cost you that transaction. You're going to lose it if you don't know what you're doing. They help you. You will learn. But if you have somebody to help you in that most critical part, which is the closing and everything else that comes with it, that help you not to lose that deal.
Spend your first year, if you're new in real estate, working to learn, not to earn. Don't worry about the money. The money will come. The second year, the third, the fourth year, it comes. I promise. Jessica Drew. Yes, ma'am.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. So I had some notes before transaction management. So I don't want you to think the first speakers were not valuable because I did not write their names down. But when I look at my transaction management space and the conversation I had after Tammy spoke, and she actually called me yesterday personally just to reset and to just discuss some more. But I'm a type A, and being new in the business, I want to know how the contracts are before I pass it on to someone. But I learned how to let it go while I was at Summit because, yeah, I do want to know what's in the details and stuff, but I understand the value of having someone else do that work while I'm moving on to the next transaction instead of being bogged down with the paperwork. So it's just like what everyone else said, but especially as a new agent, it's okay to have someone else do this stuff for you, although you don't necessarily know that all of the ins and outs of it yourself yet.
1,000%. They're going to make you look better. Remember, we always talk, you're the tip of the iceberg. You got all these people behind you. I got a comment. We got about 100 people have been on this call that are interested in finding out what these recaps were. God bless you guys for doing this. Next people up in the, I just dropped it in the chat. Please save that number, Sherry Roberts. If you are sponsoring a new agent, consider, you can of course be their mentor, which is great, or you can have Sherry and Chad be their mentor. Here's what they do. They teach training. It's only for Florida. Sorry about that. That's why I wanted them there. It was so important, but they do this. They do it for Tony. They do it for Fred. They do it for Paul Saperstein. They're going to be doing it for myself as well. I encourage you to do it. The agent is no longer on a 60-40 split, which is 20% to Icon. They've worked it out where it's only 10% and they're part of their team. And after 3 transactions, they can stay on their team, continue to get all this amazing support, like how to set up your Facebook, all this. I mean, everything you need. And it costs 5% to stay on their team after the 3 transactions are over. Now, there is a caveat to this. I like to mentor people. I enjoy the training part of it. If your time schedule permits it, by all means, go for it. If not, consider it. Write down their number. And let's just call this out. Lizette is not my Hernandez Lizette. Lizette has joined us. She is a partner with one of my all-time favorite people in the world, who I was on the phone with for about an hour yesterday. God, that was Elizabeth Riley. Elizabeth Riley and Lizette. Lizette joined us. She was the birthday girl yesterday or at the summit. Lizette, glad to have you with us. She's out of the Clearwater area. She's basically part of the GPS family at this point. There's nothing you can do about it. Welcome aboard, Lizette. Glad to have you with us.
Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here with all of you, sharing all the knowledge and everything. So thank you so much for.
You're absolutely welcome. Melanie, that's your mom. She's your mentor. Sorry, she's your mentor. Melanie, hang tight, stick around. I want to bring that up in the end, but I do want to move on. We had Jeff Willems up there. Jeff was just throwing a bunch of energy. Anybody get anything from Jeff? A nugget from Jeff Willems? He was kind of the opening of the summit, quite honestly, because we were getting really into it. Oh, yeah. What'd you get, Will?
Again, it's wisdom that we get all the time, but he kept saying, follow the process. Just follow the process. And I think, that's so key. And it could be different in nuances to everybody, but I think in general, you've laid it out for us. He's laid it out for us. Brent's laid it out for us. There's a process to this. Just share with people, follow the process, and trust it. And it works.
Rip off and duplicate. just threw that in there. That's awesome. Rip off and duplicate. That was definitely Jeff. Scott, if you don't put your son on your shoulder and put your face on the camera, I'm not letting you speak. Do we have an understanding? Come on, Scott, whatever you got, brother.
Yeah, we're in the middle of getting dressed for school now. So
that's cool.
He's off the shoulders, but yeah, I'm pretty much a jungle gym. Yeah, I mean, I guess he pretty well hit it, followed the process. But one thing I had never really done, other than I watched a couple of videos, but I had really never spent any real time on BrentGove.com. I had never really looked through that site enough so that when I am speaking to somebody new or somebody that I'm, talking about coming over or joining the GPS team, I didn't know all that information inside and out. And if you don't know that information inside and out, you're half-assing it. You're not really, you're not really attacking it the way you should be. 1,000%. So you don't have the right at that point yet to explain to someone why they should join us, unless you really know your information.
Dive deep into BrentGove.com. Brent has been challenged. James and I were talking about this, and Brent was 100% on board. Their mission is to make that the most robust, supportive site for us. The GPS or My Morning Mindset's a great site. Has some phenomenal tools and things in there. But let's be perfectly frank. I'm not the best web designer. That's something I put together. And all right, let's call a spade a spade. I suck at that. But it's user friendly. BrentGove.com has much more. It's better. There's 2 sites for you now. You have 2 places to go. I want you to have as much tools as you can. And that's what Jeff was getting across. Let's not let's not try and complicate this. Let's just do it. BrentGove.com. Scott, thanks for bringing that up. BrentGove.com.
For sure.
I got something.
Well, George,
yeah.
It costs a few bucks to build a site like that. I'm being sarcastic. It costs a ton of money to build a site like that. You and I, or most of us here, are not going to build a site like that tomorrow.
Stop that.
What?
Your son is a smartass. I love that. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, Scott. All right. I want to move on. I got to do this. Are you good? Are we good, Scott? Can I go?
We're great. Go, go, go.
Awesome. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. How about that success panel? I'm going to skip over what EXP is with Elizabeth and I. We'll get to Elizabeth in a bit. That success panel was awesome. These are us. It's a byproduct or a slice of us. Any feedback on that, guys? Anybody on the panel want to talk about that? You're welcome to it if you're on here. I haven't looked around yet. Okay. Deep, shoot.
Same thing, George. People who have implemented what you talk about, what we talk about on these Zoom calls 5 days a week, religiously, over. If you put your mind and the effort in it, it works. You saw Alex, you saw Natasha, you saw Max, who's person who's been in the area and brand new, had a mentor like you to help him with the open house, but he tweaked it. He has a very open set of minds. When you start putting the same head in you, oh no, I can do better, you're never gonna get there. Tweak as you go, grow as you go. I can't go lift 300 pounds in a gym if I don't start with 100. So it's the same step. If you're gonna start open house, start with the sign. You don't need the honey look board. You don't need this. Start somewhere, start implementing. Guys, these are five examples in front of us who are part of this Zoom call. So if you think this doesn't work, and that you really have to change your mindset.
Yeah, 1000%. Good morning, Krista. How are you? What's going on?
Everybody. Good morning, everybody. So I love the success panel because I implemented a lot of the things that of course, I've been hearing about the open house and all that over the last few months, but I implemented a lot of them this weekend. And I'm sorry I wasn't there yesterday, but it was amazing. I got so much out of it. And same with Tina, how she said how we need to set them free and give them the clipboard and all that. I did all of it. So it was amazing. And I feel like my open house was super successful, more so than any others that I've done. I love talking to Alex, the young man.
Mm-hmm.
He was so kind to talk to one of my guests who's also, I think 22 years old. He was super impressed with him, and hopefully we can connect them in Orlando. And I love Natasha. Thank you so much, Natasha, because she's going to speak to one of my agents in Illinois. So this is just all coming together for me. This is my second summit. The first one as an EXP agent. The last one was as a guest, and I'm so grateful to be here.
God bless you, Krista. I really appreciate that. Style, give me 1 second. I'll jump over to you. This is particularly to Krista and to everybody else. I have in front of me on these three screens, except for this, well, two of my screens, I am working on the sprint for the T-Rex open house because Mega's already taken. So it's T-Rex, literally. We've already raised $2,000. We'll raise a lot more, and it will be the entire process, Krista. This is free for everybody. The entire process is being videoed. So we can, like, from what does the sprint look like, which is happening at my house tomorrow at noon, for the partners, who are we calling? What's it look like? How are we putting it together? What's this weekend look like in preparation? It's next weekend. What's the door knocking look like? How do we set up the house? How are we mapping it out? Everything will be laid out, and all of it is for you. I mean, the whole thing, the entire open house. We're having the video team there. They're going to be filming what's going on in the open house. They're going to be pretend so that what does it look like when you walk through the door, when you get there? Hold on, let me tell you the story of the house. What Tina was talking about, the clipboards, the giveaways, the food, the games, the toys, the banners, the flags, the signs, the way it's laid out, the multiple sign spinners, all of this will be in a format for you, properly edited, where you can go, I'm going to play it, and you'll get an hour to an hour and a half long of what just happened, supported by documents to help you do it, so that any one of us can put on a T-Rex open house anywhere. I'll give you a secret. It takes 6 people to do it. If you're going to do it the right way, 4 to 6 minimum. It's not one. It's at least 4 people. And I can't wait for it. Y'all will get the address. Anybody wants to come on up, but feel free to do so. We're going to do it 2 days. I think we're going to bring it down to 1. I think that should be plenty in which to do. But either way, if anybody's coming up, the open house ends at 5. There's a restaurant like a mile away. It's a Chicago restaurant, so it's one of my favorites. And I would suggest anybody that is coming to be your customer, remember, if you're a guest in there for a while, if you're coming up to really experience it and see it, we're going to have an after party, or dinner after party there, where bring your cash, everybody pays their own check, but it's a good place to gather. Anyway, that's for you, Krista.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Miss Diel.
Okay, real quick about this successful panel. It was a big insight for me. It was very insightful because it made me want to be there in the very near future. It really motivated me. Like, I want to be there too. You know, listening to those people who started not too long ago made me like, man, I can be there too. You know, it's very powerful. Yeah. Very good.
Thank you for that, Stella. I agree with you wholeheartedly. All right. God, this is talk about the cultural ambassador for EXP as a whole. Anybody got any feedback from Sheila Fairjeron? I see everybody going,
ooh,
crap. Oh,
fire. Fire.
Yeah.
I want to talk right now because she just moved my heart. I start crying because she really touched me in a deeper way. And she motivated me to, you know, keep pushing, keep going, never give up, even if it's hard, even if it hurts, just keep going. Oh my God, that was that was a huge breakthrough for me. So I just want to share that over there, George, because she was amazing.
Oh, she's incredible. And you had the opportunity to sit right next to her a lot because you were sitting in the back with Elizabeth, and she's amazing. Folks, there's Sheila Fair's phone number. If you don't have it, you might want to copy that one down. Scott, what you got to add to it, buddy?
Very quickly, just, you know, we really have no excuses, no matter what your life situation, no matter what your family makeup, no matter what you have going on, don't have going on. I mean, we've seen some of the people that you've brought to our attention that have incredible stories. And I don't even know how you know this many people with that incredible of stories, but hers is incredible and an inspiration.
Outstanding. I appreciate that. I just have to do this. Mateo the Extraordinary. Love that name. That is awesome. I promise you. Benito, get to you. Sasha will get to you in just a second. There is a link for an additional business planning clinic that Tom is teaching. If you don't have the ability, God, folks, bring somebody. The link is in here. It's an Eventbrite link. Mateo, keep plugging that in for us, if you would, sir, if you don't mind, or do me a favor. Wow. Joe, copy that for me and what Mateo wrote, and let's just keep helping him out with that, because it's Tom doing it. It's $25, but you get it back when you show up. So you lose the 6% fee, whatever it is. Mateo, give me a quick more on where that is, sir.
Hey, good morning, everybody. So we're doing this event by the Millennium Mall. We're trying to hold at least 50 people. It's a big venue. We're gonna provide lunch and everything. The $25 is not for us to keep this. We don't want your money. We want you to be successful, but we want you to be there. So if you don't go, that $25 is gonna be my lunch. Thank you very much. But no, please come. It's gonna be October the 13th, and it's gonna start at 9 a.m. To 12. And Tom Martin is gonna be there to teach it.
Doing it again. Awesome. Do me a favor, Mateo. Hook up with us.
The $25, you don't require to pay it on the Eventbrite, because they will take a portion, and I didn't want that. So you have to text me. I will send you the link to Zelle or Cash App, and I will give you your money back when you attend.
Okay, good to go. That's what we needed to know. Let's keep talking about that, Mateo, because especially after this one on Thursday, let's get through Thursday first, because I want everybody on Zoom to do it. But guys, it's a great opportunity to bring a friend who needs to do it from another company that isn't getting what we're providing, or even from another group. Sasha, let's jump over to you. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it, Mateo. Miss Sasha? Got to unmute. You're mute. You're on mute. There you
go. Wow. So Sheila, oh, am I good now? All right. So Sheila had me crying. I'm not gonna lie, like just sloppy crying. It was a moment to reflect on who I am and how I want to project that out there. And it was just pouring the love on people. I mean, I have notes and notes and notes. And the main thing was that identity board, and knowing that I am not a victim of my circumstances, that I am a victor. And that video that she showed, I showed it to my children, because, you know, kids are like, I don't want to do anything. And they're like flopping around everywhere. And I showed it to my children individually. And I have kids that range from 5 to 21. Okay, so it impacted them in a way that I didn't realize it could. And if you just want to succeed in life, really love on the people in your life. And once you start projecting that and just being that contributor to everyone that you can be, I mean, you can't wear yourself thin either, but that you can be, it just makes such a big impact. And when I did the identity board, I needed a box of tissues. I mean, it was just trying to figure out who I wanted to be and how I wanted to better myself. instead of just what I want. Because we all know what we want material wise. You know, we want all the big things, but to reflect on who you want to be, that's like a whole other universe. I mean, I was mind blown when I sat down and looked at that and who I am today and who I want to be tomorrow. I suggest everyone take some time to do that and be prepared to do some deep reflecting. And I think that'll make such a huge impact on our career, because we come from a place of contribution, and this company does so much more than any other company I have interviewed or talked to. And you can feel that. And when you know you have this group of amazing people who are ready to help you, not do the work for you, but help you get to where you want to be, how can you not reach out and pay that forward to somebody else? You know, so I'm trying to use that to incorporate it into my attraction. I'm doing attraction little by little. But I think it's amazing. And if you guys recorded that and can get that out to people, oh my gosh, I will watch that thing over and over again, because I'm pretty sure every time I watch that again, I'm going to end up writing some new notes, because there was something I was crying over that I missed.
Right on. Hey, Joe, are you able to hit that up? Can you do it? Right on. So the slide decks for every person, the link to them is going to be dropped in the chat box right now. It'll be dropped in again tomorrow too, if you can't get to it today. But the link to the slide deck for every slide deck that everybody used is going to be in there ready to go for you. Miss Deborah Booth, what you got, my friend?
Hey guys, so I agree with the identity board, but also Sheila was a huge inspiration. She is a testimony all by herself. But for me, it was also the taking the impossible word and breaking it to I'm possible in the I am.
I love that. Yeah, that was for me, Deb. That I was like, oh, that's awesome. That is righteously cool. Paula, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. For me, it was more the, I think it was her, the one that mentioned the journey through the walls, you know, just not, you know, overcoming the obstacles and, you know, not letting the walls stop you, and learning to either climb it, you know, walk through it, or do whatever it takes, but not let the obstacles stop you. That for me was a huge, you know, aha. It touched me because, you know, she did mention, you know, that hitting the walls is where the transformation happens. And I have seen, at least on my end, you know, how whenever I attempt to do something that is new for me, or something that I've never done and that seems, you know, a little difficult, you know, and I'm questioning myself if I just go through it without actually thinking about it too much, then I'm like, oh, it's easier, right? And so for me, that was huge. That was huge. And just, you know, also I think she mentioned giving your best to everybody, you know, like, and doing it because your family or whomever depends on it. And so that was just, you know, very important for me.
Thank you so much for your sharing and your insight, guys. When you're up and you're having a conversation with everybody on here, it's at first you're like, oh, it's a little bit awkward, but what it does is it actually puts so much more of what's going on, the stuff that the real nuggets in these masterminds, it puts it inside of you a little bit more. Paolo, just by that comment, you become more engaged, and you're always here. So, I mean, it's not like I'm not saying you weren't before, but you become more engaged with what's happening, the involvement, the energy, the effort to contribute is invaluable. I will tell you right now, and all of you that are on still listening to this, we are absolutely interested in you hosting a segment, a 10-minute spot on something you're passionate about that you want to teach and train on. So if the urge strikes you, reach out to Tiffany. She's easy to find. We want that to happen. We want you to participate in this. Run it by her. Let her and Joe kind of work through it. She'll feel it on out for all of us. We'll take a look at it. I'm going to end right now. We're going to pick up with Shannon tomorrow, and y'all remember Shannon. I got a couple things to say first, and I'm not going to let this go. Number one, everybody here, please, Joe, write this down. I want to bring it up again tomorrow. It is critical. Get this book today on Audible if you can. Exactly What to Say by Phil M. Jones. Somebody please type that out for me. Exactly What to Say by Phil M. Jones. Here's some of the phrases. These are the actual chapters. I'll read them to you. I'm not sure if it's for you, but do you consider yourself to be open-minded? How would you feel if, just imagine, when would be a good time? I'm guessing you haven't gotten around to simple swaps. You have 3 options. I used that for everybody just a little while ago. I'll bet you're a bit like me. If, then, don't worry, most people, the good news, what happens next, what makes you say that? Believe before you make your mind up. If I can, will you? Just one more thing. And may I ask a favor? Now, these are all incredibly powerful communicative skills. And he goes over these. I've listened to this book 3 times and I have it on play on my computer. I listen to it more. I will get through this book probably 15 to 20 times. Is Jackie on this call? Hold on. Nope. Cool. I use this with my family all the time and they don't have a clue I'm doing it. This thing it's brilliant. It's communicative styles. Exactly what to say. You all need to get that book. I'm super passionate about it. I covered the T-Rex open house. We are working on that. It starts tomorrow.
George, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. Just before you go, that book that you're talking about is actually on sale on Audible for $4.86. Go get it.
Get it. Oh my God. Thanks, Eddie. I appreciate that. Get it. All right. So we're going to revisit this tomorrow. We're coming back tomorrow and we're going to hit this one more time. We're going to start with Shannon. Y'all remember Shannon? Shannon was the person who literally couldn't sell a home for a year. Thank God he was a member of this company, because this company and his efforts he put in previously supported him for an entire year without being able to do a thing. Literally, his family would have perished through that environment. Well, that's not literally. Figuratively, his family would have perished, but he would have lost his home for sure. He didn't have a year of income or savings. Y'all think about that. That's Shannon. We're done. We're going to jump into Fred DeFalco. God, it's good to have the Godfather back. Tina we're going to cover Tina as well. Then Coach Steve Powers. Wow. How cool is that? Then Miss Elizabeth Riley, Jaime as well. And we'll finish up with the ever-present, all-knowing Brent Gove. That's going to finish that up for our recap. Now, please remember for everybody, and let's make sure we get this out there as well. Come Thursday, there is a very, very important Zoom call. We will not be doing an attraction call on Thursday. Just so y'all know, there will not be a meeting on Thursday. Boom. Doesn't exist. The other one's more important. Got to be on that. All right. It is time. Joe, kill this stuff down. Let's go to after party. Thank you for everybody participating. We had like 100 people on this call just doing recaps with us. You have any idea how freaking cool you guys are? It's the after party. Tiffany's out getting a computer.
I'm here.
Joe and I are going to hang.
Driving.
She's driving, getting a computer.
I am.
Good. Get the cheap one because you're going to return it in a day or two.
Yep.
All right. It's open. Whatever y'all want.